Welcome back, my baby pets. Here we are, talking to the photographer dude, and we're going to have to leave here, exit, and go to exit, bitch. Here we go, and go to the witness of the Pratt's murder, and convince him to speak to the portrait artist, so we can actually know who the fuck we're looking for. I have a feeling we're going to bully this poor man again.
I need your help, Mr. Needham. Will you come with us, please?
Why this time?
A picture artist needs you to describe the man you saw at the Needle. The third man. I wouldn't expect you to do it for free.
Oh, that's all right then. A commission, like. As long as the brute don't know it's me what described him. He had a dangerous aspect.
Brought the eyes, have you? Be right with you.
Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I love you, kitty. You're such a good kitty.
This is Mr. Needham. He has seen the person I want drawn.
Excellent. You and I will get busy. Perhaps you'll occupy yourself, Mr. Holmes.
Oh.
Does the work of a professional photographer appeal to you, Needham?
What would I have to do, Mr. Holmes?
They'd pay you to look at certain things and take pictures with a camera.
Most of what I see I'd rather forget. Would they pay me to forget?
Not for what you've seen, sir. Unfortunately, no one would pay for that. Needham, please describe the gentleman you saw in profile at the embankment. The third man.
I can't add nothing to what I already told you, Mr. Holmes.
A tall man with an unkempt beard and a stain of some sort on his left cheek, correct?
That's him.
Perhaps you could give us a moment alone, Mr. Holmes? We'll put something together.
Oh, sorry. Of course. I'll look about, shall I?
Okay, cool. Now they're actually doing their thing. Buzz is going quicker than I thought. Shit. Never mind. I thought I'd have to leave and go talk to somebody else. Let me talk to Watson.
I believe the young man is a gifted artist, Watson.
You've added the arrow art criticism to your quiver of skills, then?
I know you believe my ideas of art are crude, but I remind you to remember my origins. Art in the blood takes strange forms.
Though not medically attested, certain delusions may also be hereditary.
Watson.
Mugshots will be a crucial investigative tool in the future, Watson.
I'm sure you are right.
Yes, they
The
will.
issue is, will the police have the sense to use it?
I wouldn't care to predicate its future success on my answer. How would you evaluate Needham's powers of observation?
Acute. He was clear on the facial structure and proportions, cast of the eyes and position of the ears. There are some problems, but we muddled through. Wonder if the stain is a scar.
That's an intriguing thought. May I take the drawing with me?
Of course. Hope it helps.
Need to pay him. Pay the man.
I believe you did quite well, Mr. Needham.
Mr. Hemmings says so. His questions reminded me of things about the gent I'd forgot.
In investigations and life, the right answers are impossible to discover without the right questions.
Alrighty. Boop.
Ah, yes, he was among my candidates. The beard is new, probably false. He has dark hair. You're moving in consequential circles, Sherlock. Colonel Erich Merlendorf, alias Wachthund, the guard dog. He's Prussian, of course. The facial stain is a distinctively horrible dueling scar. Only a fraction of it shows here. It's huge, and he wears it like an angry mask.
Who is he?
Principal agent and factotum of the German Imperial Chancellor, Otto von Bismarck, fiercely loyal to his employer's interests and protective of his reputation, a very cold customer. What's he doing in London, I wonder?
No good, I assure you. Is he an official agent of Imperial Germany?
Not exactly. But I've invited an old friend to join us who can address that issue. Given your previous remarks and our shared suspicions, I thought he might be helpful. Is that a problem?
No, I'm grateful. Your discretion and judgment in such matters is unquestioned.
Carter, would you come in, please? Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Fairfax Carter, Home Office Attaché.
Your advice was inestimable. Hemmings gave individuality to a generic face.
I'm not surprised. He's a marvel.
I've heard your name from Mycroft, sir. Friedman has filled you in?
As he was able. Might you put us more in the picture?
No. Mycroft has requested secrecy. I shall respect that. Reputations are at stake. The nation's security, maybe. If I fail, you should know all. If I succeed, you will learn no more than you know now. Can we deal on that basis?
I am not entirely without other sources of information, as I think you know. Your commitment to your brother's cause is commendable.
You know, I need to figure out exactly when this is because the news right before he came out was Queen kisses Kaiser because that's when she kissed Kaiser Wilhelm. Who's from Germany. So I'm wondering what the fuck. Because I remember that's when she 'cause basically that's when they became engaged, and that's like the whole big thing. Queen Victoria's engaged. Wish they had a happy marriage, but unfortunately she, whatever, not a history lesson. But I don't know much that about world history during the 1800s, just like the rise of the Industrial Revolution, all that shit.
You presumably heard us speaking of Colonel Merlendorf?
I did.
It must be assumed that this Prussian is involved in an operation hostile to British interests. Is it possible he has the Kaiser's blessing and the sanction of the German imperial government?
I don't believe so. I fervently hope not. He would not risk it. He would not do it.
Your reasons?
The Kaiser is trying to curb the power and influence of his bitter rival, the domineering Imperial Chancellor Otto von Bismarck.
Explain, please.
Wilhelm has been courting favour throughout Europe, separating himself from Bismarck's aggressive policies. Discovery of such an operation would undermine his efforts to establish his own authority and demolish the progress he has made in repairing Bismarck's damage. Besides, he is currently well disposed toward his mamma, the Empress Frederick, who despises the Chancellor. Finally, he would risk the displeasure of his grandmamma, Queen Victoria, and his cousins at this critical time.
Is this a different one? Now I'm confused at the timeline. Really confused.
If it's not an official operation, what might the Prussians' motives be?
I cannot say with assurance, but I would hazard that whatever he is doing here is intended to enhance the Chancellor's position with the German military and re-establish his dominance over the Emperor.
I see. Moellendorff is Bismarck's creature, not the Kaiser's.
Exactly.
Can you help me gain access to the Kaiser? I know he's in London.
I could arrange an interview. The Kaiser, as it happens, is familiar with
Maybe
your
it was
name
like
and
the
reputation,
sweet
but this would be
follow
strictly
my
a
grandchild.
personal
Let
affair.
him kiss your
The
forehead,
government
some
must
shit.
not be suspected of having any official
Why would that be
involvement
news?
in your inquiry.
That's understood. You'll inform us of a time and place?
I'll send a message to your lodgings.
Okay, so
What kind of man is the Kaiser?
got to
Not
meet with the
brilliant,
Kaiser.
but he's keen and energetic, has the regrettable habit of speaking of himself in the third person, convinced that he belongs to a distinct order of mankind designated for monarchy by the grace of God.
And Bismarck wants to put his thumb in the eye of that belief.
Correct. As a boy, he imitated Bismarck as an act of parental defiance. Now he's alarmed the Chancellor by imitating Frederick the Great. In the end, we believe him fundamentally wiser and more progressive than Bismarck. They'll certainly come to blows, and given your inquiry, may have done already.
I'm not sure I'm much into Frederick the Great, but now the first Frederick, that's cool. He was a cool dude. Well, no, he wasn't. But I mean, why you gotta do this? You can't just walk in between there. No, you gotta go all the way around your ass to get to your thumb. Bloody fuck! Why couldn't you just done that? Hey. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so now it's time to, since I've exhausted pretty much everything else, it's time to finally do this, people. Excuse me. One of the late Earls of Chesterfield, lacking political ambitions and oratorical abilities of his illustrious predecessors, confined his interest to fashion and furniture. This lightly stuffed leather sofa bears his name. So the furniture actually was made by the nobility. Okay. Did not know that. I love me a good Chesterfield. Is there anything that I missed? The lanky, carpet, all that, a train. Am I stupid?
Hebblethwaite, I must see Silverbridge. Immediately.
What do you imagine has changed since you were last denied your wish?
Certainly not your impertinence, but as you are his keeper, I'll tell you. The probable thief of a ministry document has been brutally murdered. Silverbridge instigated the move to terminate an official investigation into the theft. You may draw your own inferences. I have drawn mine. He may speak to me now, or to Inspector Lestrade later. Announce us now, or I will bring the entire investigative apparatus of Scotland Yard and the Ministry of Defence to bear on this house.
Your reputation for subtlety is undeserved, Mr. Holmes. I'll take you in.
Pillow fort. Oh, Snoopy, Snoopity Doop Doop. Don't get in trouble. The basket held an open envelope and a crumpled sheet of cream-laid paper. Silverbridge had been dubiously honoured by an invitation from a Mrs. Fitzwilliam Hedgerow. Promised subject of salon conversation was decimal coinage, foolishness, conspiracy. My head hurts. No wonder he threw it in the trash. Heir presumptive to extensive holding in the city, Silverbridge's adult life has been sent wrangling in Parliament despite a pallid complexion and a cowlick which has defeated a mess of mud. He's a presentable man. And that was ammonium carbonate. Isn't that, he's not talking.
Hepplethwaite, what's going on? Is he very ill?
He'll come round. Be patient for a moment. The potion usually works unless he's been abusing it.
Does this happen frequently?
He's been frail since his wife's death. Occasionally physical consequences manifest themselves.
Holmes? Did you say Holmes?
Yes, sir. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I believe.
You do not look well, Mr. Silverbridge.
Forgive my not rising. Unsteady on my pegs of late.
My news will not improve your condition. Thomas Pratt has been brutally murdered.
Oh, how dreadful. Why was he killed?
The motive is unclear, but he was certainly involved in the formula's disappearance from the ministry. The vigorous investigation that you quashed is now not only justified, it is urgently necessary. My brother will expect your support. Will you assist him?
No. I mean, oh my heavens,
You straight up passed out. God damn.
Doesn't the child have his own room?
Of course, but he spends most of his time in here with his father. His effects are always available. I'm under instructions not to tidy.
Don't walk. Oh my. The sturdy set of oak shelves holds a collection of nursery tales, sea stories, and the proceedings of the Middlesex Agricultural Commission. Well, after his wife died, he just focused on being a dad.
What is your diagnosis, Doctor? His coloration is discouraging. Is he in danger?
That's right, Watson is actual medical doctor.
I think not. His pulse is weak but regular. He's fainted. The convulsions are not serious.
Why should the news of Pratt affect him so?
Pratt was not your only subject, but there is no necessary cause and effect. He may have a feeble constitution. In any case, he should revive momentarily.
The boy favours his mother's physical features.
Fortunate boy.
More than a little spoiled, I suspect, and motherless for some time.
You go too far, Holmes. You saw her picture in the hall.
But I didn't see her, nor evidence of her, nor of any woman for that matter.
That's true.
What do you perceive, Doctor? Is it not a peculiar room?
There is no explanation that would prevent me from calling it odd. The mix of adult and child effects is unique.
I like the idea of it. I hope it is a sign of things to come. Father never allowed Mycroft and me in his study.
Oh, yes, thank you, I think.
The fact that pencil is there is bugging me.
Did you know Pratt well?
No, seemed a civil chap, a little dissipated. There were rumours. What happened?
He was shot and discarded in the Thames, like a sewer rat.
If he was the thief, I should think the matter of the document's disappearance is closed.
Hardly. We should all want to know why he stole it, and for whom. Your committee will be especially interested in what he did with it, and my brother will want to know why the initial inquiry was abandoned. I assure you, questions will be raised.
You'll have to excuse me, gentlemen. I'm not feeling well.
I forgot to... The chessboard, whose wood perfectly matches the desk, is built into one corner. Notice that desk that has a chessboard onto it. The beautifully carved sturdy pieces represent samurai society in Tokugawa, Japan. Interesting. Is this all I'm getting out of? Okay, here we go.
Why did you move to terminate the investigation into the theft?
In the end, it was unanimous, excepting Mycroft. The document was deemed insignificant, all things considered.
Flapdoodle. Others may have calculated the political consequences should the disappearance be exposed, but not you, I think. Was your vote coerced?
What an asinine question, of course not. I'm my own man on all issues.
What I see around me refutes that contention.
My domestic arrangements are no concern of yours.
Wrong, Mr. Silverbridge. Whatever motivates you concerns me. I believe you were coerced, and I will ferret out the truth, the consequences be damned.
Damn.
That's your son's portrait, isn't it? Handsome lad. Where is he now?
Virgil is at school, at Marrowbone in Windsor. He's a day pupil.
He looks a clever boy. Must take after his mother. I believe I'll call on him.
Mr. Holmes, please don't. I beg you. Stop. You don't know what you're doing. I must not assist. Please. Oh, yes, thank you, I think.
Give me answers.
Epplethwaite, where is Virgil Silverbridge?
I saw him off to school on a Windsor train.
His father believes the boy is in danger. You suspect the same, or you're dimmer than I think.
The master's worried sick, Mr. Holmes, as you've seen, and he's frightening me. He's eaten nothing. The fainting is worse than when his missus passed away. It must have to do with Virgil. Nothing else would undo him.
What's happened? What's different? When did he change?
He brought home a letter yesterday on pink paper. I saw it when I lighted the fire. He did not confide its contents to me, but he has been closeted away since then, hasn't left the room. He falls apart in private.
His jacket has no pockets, and there is no paper on his desk. Do you know where the letter is now?
I never saw it out of his hand. He may have burned it.
I don't believe Silverbridge destroyed it, but given his condition, I don't think he will voluntarily admit it exists, let alone divulge its contents. We must have that letter, Watson.
Souls Common Graphite. The putative essay reads, Wilhelm Steinitz is the best player in the whole world, including London. Paul Morphy, an American, used to be. He played blindfolded when he was 10, but he went insane and stopped playing, even blindfolded. Okay, that's a weird thing for a kid to write. Desk is covered in letters, reports, newspapers. The MP's reputation for tireless labor on behalf of his sleepy Middlesex constituency is legendary. Built-in chessboard occupies one corner. An opaque jar rests in another. Nope, just that same shit. What's here? What? Here's our letters, numbers, and combination. They're so faintly etched, so have to be readily rubbing my ink. Oh, we took the paper. Okay. So nice that this is right here when I need it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I'm a little sleepy.
What is it, Holmes?
It's an opening move, Watson. PQ4, PQB4, NQB3, PK4. It's a variation on the famous Queen's Gambit. Probably saw his father make the move. But why write it down?
The King's Gambit is a chess move. Got the show on Netflix. I heard there was an inconsistency about like the whole thing about the Queen's Gambit, about that being her finally being allowed to play against men, but at the same time, apparently before she made the Queen's Gambit, she had already played against men. So it's a bit inaccurate. There we go. Yay!
Note the Windsor postmark, the lip gloss on the adhesive, and stationer's watermark.
If your committee's investigation continues or the police learn of this note, Virgil's temporary absence will become permanent. Compliance will ensure his safe return in a few days' time.
The note is genuine, isn't it? He is missing.
Yes, when the headmaster reported Virgil's absence, I had already received the note. I said the boy was ill.
Kidnapping is an atrocious crime, and extortion is as bad. But there is more at stake here than your son's well-being.
Virgil is my heir and only child. I could not jeopardize his safety for the sake of a classified document.
You may have jeopardized the security of your country.
To my everlasting shame, I fear you are right. It was a difficult choice, Mr. Holmes. Pray you never have to make it.
I will not judge you, sir. This crime is a strand in a tortuously tangled knot of theft, murder, and conspiracy. Despite the note's warning, I must try to unravel this snarl of deception and perfidy. You are wrong to assume the kidnapper's goodwill. Virgil is temporarily useful to them. When he ceases to be, who knows what will happen? One does not trust the word of extortionists. He must be urgently found.
My hopes and Virgil's too rest with you, Mr. Holmes.
Can you spare a picture of the boy?
Of course. He's bigger now, and his hair has lost most of its lovely red.
And what about something that is particularly his?
Take anything.
Is there any more you can tell us, Mr. Silverbridge?
I'm afraid not. I have expended all my energy trying and failing to justify my culpable silence. I may have harmed my country and done nothing for my boy.
Lose that thought, sir. Conserve your strength for the struggle to come.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's nice to see Sherlock so uncharacteristically, sympathetic.
We're for Windsor, Doctor. Any pertinent ideas?
None you haven't considered. Shall we renew our acquaintance with a certain redoubtable hound?
You know my methods. Use the best tool for the job. If your hair is on fire, don't try to put it out with a hammer.
Do you know who holds the boy?
Not at all. But I do know that a woman with dubious taste in cosmetics sealed the ransom note. I presume she posted it. It is likewise clear that she did not write the note.
Clear to you, perhaps. A professional opinion would not be amiss.
So we're gonna go get ourselves a bloodhound. We're gonna need a dog. And what better thing to get than a blankie? Mm. Like my painkiller. I got it from the Dracula ballet. Really, really like it. Watson? What? I'm about to be off. Oh, listen. Okay. Where is the animal store? I'm gonna get myself a bloodhound. There we go. I need a dog. Oh, wow. Okay, there's lots of stuff to look at and everything, and you know what? I am going to cut it off right here. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Mind your godmother.